Catholic Jack, when you're going to debate Christian Prince. Why would it make that joker? He can refute it, isn't he? Catholic Jack, understand one thing. I don't go in for egos, yeah? I just destroy arguments. You, Hamza, if you give me a point, I'll go and prove you wrong. Okay, the authors of the Gospels are anonymous. You have no clue who wrote them. Prove me wrong.
Hamza, you've been caught out. You've been lying to your viewers. How could you?
Are the 4 canonical Gospels written anonymously?
Tough question.
The Gospels themselves were not written in English originally. Yea, verily, they were not written even in King James English originally. They were originally written in Greek. And the headers to each of the Gospels, according to Matthew, according to Mark, according to Luke, according to John, were probably added to the documents after the fact. The inspired text begins with verse 1. You'll notice that the header is not part of any verse of any of those Gospels. So all 4 Gospels that we have in the New Testament are formally anonymous. That is, if all you had was verses 1 to the end of each of these Gospels, internally, the Gospels don't identify who wrote them, with the possible exception of the 4th Gospel, who tells us that the beloved disciple had something to do with the composition of the 4th Gospel. So where did these headings come from? According to Matthew, according to Mark, according to Luke, according to John. Well, it appears they come from the early Christian community, who in fact knew who was responsible for putting these Gospels together. And what we know about the later churches, there was so much emphasis on the apostolic witness and the eyewitness, and indeed the testimony of the original folks who had seen Jesus rise from the dead, that it would be very surprising if there weren't claims being made that the Gospels were written just by members of the 12, or the Gospels were written just by eyewitnesses. So it's a bit of a shock to discover that 2 of what is claimed as the authors of the Gospels, Mark and Luke, there's no claim about them being eyewitnesses. There's certainly no claim about them being apostles. No claim about them being one of the original 12. Now, this has all the marks of authenticity. If you're going to make up names of people that composed the original source documents about the life of Jesus, if you're going to do something like that, then surely you're going to go with members of the 12, or the original eyewitnesses, or the original apostles. Not so much. Mark and Luke are minor figures, even in the New Testament themselves, and there's no claim they were original eyewitnesses. In fact, Luke says this at the beginning of his gospel: "Inasmuch as many of us have sought to write an account of the things that have happened amongst us, I too, Theophilus, having studied this for a long time, and having consulted the eyewitnesses and the original preachers of the word, decided to write for you an orderly account, so that you might know about the things that have happened amongst us." Now that's very interesting. He says he consulted the eyewitnesses and the original preachers of the word. He doesn't include himself amongst them. What we have, it seems to me, is claims made about these Gospels and their authorship that are honest claims, not later puff pieces suggesting that all the Gospels were written by one of the members of the 12. And even in the case of a Gospel like the Gospel of Matthew, what is actually being claimed is that he is responsible for some of the source material in this Gospel. So, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, stick with these and you can't go wrong. There is a reason that those names are appended to those Gospels. These are not later fictional names attached to the Gospels. It's because, wait for it, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John had something to do with the composition of these Gospels. Briefly, Matthew is one of the sources for the material in the Gospel of Matthew, as is Mark. 95% of Mark's Gospel recurs in the Gospel of Matthew. So there are multiple sources in that gospel. Mark, the sometime companion of Paul and Peter, is responsible for our earliest gospel, the second one in the canon. Luke, a sometime companion of Paul, is responsible for the third gospel. And then there's the mysterious fourth gospel. Why is it called the Gospel according to John? This is something of a mystery because, in fact, there are no Galilean Zebedee stories about the Zebedee boys in the Gospel of John. Zero. None. In fact, the Zebedees are only mentioned in passing in the very last chapter of the Gospel of John, John 21. What the internal testimony tells us is that these stories go back to somebody called the beloved disciple. Increasingly, scholars have said maybe the reason the Gospel of John is so different from the synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, is precisely because this Gospel is the eyewitness testimony of a Judean disciple. Now, we can debate who this is. This might have been somebody named John. That's what Richard Bauckham in his work on the Gospel of John says. But it might have been somebody else, because there is somebody in the Gospel of John called the beloved disciple. It's Lazarus. Go back and read John 11. In the story about the raising of Lazarus from the dead, we have the very first use of the phrase, the one whom you love. Mary and Martha write to Jesus, who is far away from Bethany, Lord, the one whom you love is dying. Who is this? Who is this beloved disciple, this person beloved of Jesus? Well, it's Lazarus. My personal belief is that Lazarus is the beloved disciple, but that a man by the name of John, who was also responsible for the book of Revelation, John of Patmos, put together the memoirs of the beloved disciple, and it came to be called the Gospel of John. So one more time, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There are reasons these labels were later appended to the Gospels, but they were appended to the Gospels after they were already being collected together. You don't call something the Gospel according to X unless there's also the Gospel according to Y or Z. So at the point in time when they were collecting these four Gospels together, they got these labels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And what we can say is that these are authentic, genuine, and accurate labels about the people who were involved in the composition of these documents.
All right, one second. I'm going to make it easy for you, Jack. There's a link, mate. Come and tell us all about it, Captain Jack. Captain Jack Sparrow. Jack is definitely Googling. You'll all be taking this mocking back when it's out. What?
Well, that's that, Hamza. You've been proven wrong, mate. Just hold your hands up and apologise. I'm a Christian. I'll fucking forgive you. Don't worry about that.
Catholic Jack, just so you understand something, right? For the past nearly 2 years, I've been going through the Bible with a fine-tooth comb, challenging the historicity of it, going through each gospel, going through each epistle, going through the letters of Paul. We've invited Christians to come and challenge what we're saying, and they can't. What you got?
So you just can't understand it, Hamza. You don't know what it is to really believe, Hamza. I'll play you this song, and this is my favourite song. Do you believe, Hamza? It wouldn't be such a good song if it was called Do You Have Evidence? It's called Do You Believe?
Mighty Father, I believe. Do you believe? Yes, I believe. You created heaven and earth. Father's power, do you believe? Yes, I believe. And through him all things were made, do you believe? Yes, I believe. He it was who saved us all, do you believe? Yes, I believe. From heaven he came to earth, do you believe? Yes, I believe. Oh yes, I believe in the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Yes, I believe. Oh yes, I believe in the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Yes, I believe. All the Virgin Mary born, do you believe? Yes, I believe. By the Spirit was made flesh, do you believe? Yes, I believe. Suffered death, was crucified, do you believe? Yes, I believe. And he rose up from the dead, do you believe? Yes, I believe. Oh yes, I believe in the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Yes, I believe. Oh yes, I believe in the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Yes, I believe. He ascended into heaven, do you believe? Yes, I believe. And his kingdom has no end, do you believe? Yes, I believe. In the Spirit I believe, do you believe? Yes, I believe. Lord and vivifier of all, do you believe? Yes, I believe. Oh yes, I believe in the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Yes, I believe. Oh yes, I believe in the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Yes, I believe.
Look at those ladies, fucking beautiful. They truly believe, you can see it in their eyes. See, Hamza, that's why they're not coming to refute you. They're too busy singing and dancing.
Pretty sure he's going to lean on the church fathers.
So anyway, Hamza, you lost that debate. I waited in the pub for you to go live and you fucking didn't. And now I've got a fucking hangover and I'm not in the mood to fucking listen to you again. So, we want you to debate Christian Prince and we want you to debate him on this because you destroy arguments, you said. Destroy this argument with Christian Prince.
Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. Today our topic is not James White for sure. Now, you know, as James White, he said before that ISIS is not Islam as a whole. I don't know what Islam as a whole mean. I mean, this guy is really weird, unbelievable. However, you know, it's okay. He is just a normal American, average American who have no idea what Islam is about. He read about Islam from Mickey Mouse magazine, which is translated by Muslims, given to him by Muslims, and he listened about Islam from, like, he learned about Islam from Muslims. Let's say it this way. And you know what? Muslims are the same as a salesman. They will never tell you what Islam is about. Trust me in that. This is a Muslim host. Again, he's a Muslim. And the guy in front of him, he's a Muslim too. But both of them, they are Muslims by name. Which means they have no idea that their religion teaching the following. They are talking about a sheikh who is very well known, famous Egyptian sheikh. He said that the reason we are poor now in Egypt because we stopped doing jihad. Because if we are doing jihad, we can attack the European and the Christians and the Jews, take their money, their wealth, and take their women and capture them, and we can sell them as slaves. We can make a lot of money. So he's trying to find a solution for the economy of Egypt. This is a poor country. So what is the problem? We need to attack, do jihad as the Prophet he do. This is what the Muslim should do for living. The Muslim should not do farming. The Muslim should not do any kind of jobs except jihad. And actually that is true. As you see in the hadith, it's in front of your eyes, saying clearly that if you want to do work as a farmer, Allah will humiliate you. If you want to do any kind of business except jihad, Allah will destroy you. This is what Muhammad taught his followers. So now let us hear together what this conversation is about.
ونأخذ نساءهم سبايا.
والله يا سيدي الحويني ما جاب حاجة من عنده، يعني هذا الكلام بيتدرس للعيال اللي في الأزهر.
بس الكلام ده لما يبقى زمان عند نشر الإسلام.
هو ده بقى اللي بيدرسوه للعيال دلوقتي. نشر الإسلام. ما هو
Look, even the secular Muslim, he's saying, well, this is, yes, true. When Islam was spread, we used to do that. Not now. So even the secular Muslims, they know that Muhammad is a thief, he is a gang, he is a murderer, and he is a scumbag. Let me play it again so you can see. He said to him, yes, well, this was true, but in the time of the Prophet, when we spread Islam by the sword, but not today. You see the hypocrisy? What do you mean not today? What is different between yesterday and today? Is Islam or no? And the Azhar University, which is the highest university in the Islamic world, is teaching Islam the way the Prophet he did. Do you have a new Islam? No. Listen, you see, it says, however, isn't it, this is his from old time, during the spread of Islam. He's talking about taking slaves, kidnapping people, killing them, chopping their head. He's saying this is during the spread of Islam time. Muslim, they say to you that Islam was not spread by sword. You see, when they speak in Arabic, is different from the way they try to present Islam to you when they speak in English.
نشر
هو ده بقى اللي بيدرسوه للعيال
نشر
دلوقتي.
الإسلام.
ما هو
ماشي، إنما النهارده
لما بيدرسوا لهم الكلام ده دماغهم ما بتستحملش الحضارة، فبيقعدوا يتكلموا معانا بحكم الأموات بتوع زمان اللي من سنة 1000 سنة فاتت، ويقهرونا وإلا ما نبقاش مسلمين زي ما قال لي دلوقتي طالما أنا مش سني.
See what he heard? What did you hear what he said? He said, if we don't believe in this, they say you are not a Muslim. Do you see why ISIS, they are killing some Muslims? Because they don't want to practice this. Some Muslims, they don't believe in this. Some Muslims, they cannot believe that in the year 2016 we are going to chop heads and kidnap women from their families just because they are from different religion. So they say to him, you are not a Muslim no more, you are not even Sunni, which mean, oh, why I want to tell you what it mean. Let us watch and see if you leave Islam what Muslims can do to you. And this is in their textbooks in the school, approved by the government of Egypt. The best friend of USA and the president of president of Egypt, he is a very supposedly anti-Islamic. Watch and laugh.
ابقى كافر مع ان انا لا سني ولا شيعي ولا اي حاجه، وانا قلت له ليه انا مش سني ولا شيعي؟ ربنا سبحانه وتعالى قال انه ربنا لا يأمرنا بانه الا ان احنا نكون ربانيين نعبد الله واحد.
You know, our God, he told us just to worship one God, and that's it. This is not Islam. Islam, yes, says you worship Allah, but Islam says if somebody don't worship Allah, you kill him. There's tons of verses. So this guy, he's trying to say, let us forget about what the old books is saying, and let us live today. As long people they worship one God, you know, that's it. This is what we need to do. Worship one God. Leave the others live their life. But this is not Islam, my friend. Islam have, you know, the whole idea. Muhammad, he said, I've been ordered to fight all mankind. And told, they say there's no God but Allah and there's no prophet but him, the scumbag. And then they pay the zakat and they do the salat, which means the prayer, and they forbid what we forbid, and then and only then I will stop killing them. Only them. That is the order of Muhammad. This guy, he don't want to live that horror movie. He think and he wish to live like a Western country, as a Western civilization where everybody free to be whatever he want. But that's cannot happen in Islamic countries. You cannot do that. Listen carefully now. What will happen to him if the other Muslims decide that he is not a Muslim no more? Let us say, what will happen to you if you are a Muslim and you don't pray no more? As an example, like ISIS, they don't kill Muslims just for fun. They kill Muslims who don't pray. They kill Muslims who don't pay zakat, which means the tax for the to the Islamic State. This is what Muhammad did, and this is what Abu Bakr did. They kill a Muslim if you don't practice fasting. Any of those who they are considered the most important things in Islam, if you stop doing them, it's mean you are an apostate. Even if you keep saying you are a Muslim, so you don't pray, we kill you. Not only we kill you, we eat you. Watch with me.
في شوف كمان من ضمن اللي بيدرسوه للعيال بيقول وحيث جوزنا اكل ميتة الادمي، يعني ممكن ياكل ادمي بس في حالة الاضطرار لا يجوز طبخها ولا شيها لما في ذلك من هك حرمة. بعد ما هياكلوا بس ما يسلقوش ولا يشويه، ويتخالف في ذلك بين اكله نيئا وغيره. وله قتل مرتد، خلي بالك، وله قتل مرتد واكله وقتل تارك. ايوه
يعني يقتل بني ادم وياكله
عشان جعان.
لا
مش كده وبس،
ده بيدرس عندنا في الازهر.
بص يا سيدي، الازهر الشريف قطاع المعاهد الازهريه، الاداره المركزيه للكتب والمكتبات والوسائل التعليميه، الاقناع في حل الفاظها بشجاع للصف الثالث الثانوي، والكلام ده صفحه 256 السنه دي.
يا شيخ الازهر
السنه دي،
يا مفتي الجمهوريه، يا وزير الاوقاف، صح النوم، الكتاب اللي بيدرس لطلبه ثانويه عامه فيه كلام انه تارك الصلاة يتم شيء واكله.
أيوة.
قتله ثم شيء ثم اكله
دون الرجوع للحاكم.
دون الرجوع للحاكم. يعني ده يعني ارضية خصبة لانشاء جماعات بالامر.
Where is James White? If somebody he don't pray no more, you are allowed as a Muslim to kill him, to make him a barbecue, to grill him, and to eat him. Takbir. And James White, he says to you, this is not Islam. Let us play it again for those who they are slow. All right, watch with me.
هياكلوا بس ما يسلقوش ولا يشويه، ويتخالف في ذلك بين اكله نيئا وغيره. وله قتل مرتد، خلي بالك، وله قتل مرتد واكله وقتل تارك. ايوه
يعني يقتل بني ادم وياكله
عشان جعان.
لا
مش كده وبس،
ده بيدرس عندنا في الازهر.
بص يا سيدي، الازهر الشريف قطاع المعاهد الازهريه، الاداره المركزيه للكتب والمكتبات والوسائل التعليميه، الاقناع في حل الفاظها بشجاع للصف الثالث الثانوي، والكلام ده صفحه 256 السنه دي.
يا شيخ الازهر
السنه دي،
يا مفتي الجمهوريه، يا وزير الاوقاف، صح النوم، الكتاب اللي بيدرس لطلبه ثانويه عامه فيه كلام انه تارك الصلاة يتم شيء واكله.
أيوة.
قتله ثم شيء ثم اكله
دون الرجوع للحاكم.
دون الرجوع للحاكم. يعني ده يعني ارضية خصبة لانشاء جماعات بالامر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر تعمل الكلام ده.
بص يا سيدي، وله قتل الزاني المحصن والمحارب وتارك الصلاة ومن عليه قصاص وان لم يأذن الامام في القتل. خلي بالك، يعني دول بيسمحوا للناس انها تقتل الناس.
يا نهار اسود.
But this is Islam. Why you are shocked? If somebody is not paying zakat, if somebody is not doing prayer, if somebody is apostate, or supposedly those are apostate anyway, if you are not praying or paying zakat, as we said, you can kill him and eat him and barbecue him. It's halal, brother, it's halal. And they are teaching this in high school textbooks, paid and sponsored by the government, my brother. My brother, if you want to learn about Islam, listen to James White, my brother. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I don't know anything about Islam. James White is the one who knows everything about Islam, brother. This is Islam. Do you think Al-Azhar University, which is the highest, you can go and search, it is the highest school for Islam in the world, which means the Saudi themselves, Saudi Arabia, they are no match to those guys. This is what they are teaching in their school, and this is an Islamic TV in Egypt. And this is a textbook. Go inside the house of everybody who is a student who want to go in the high school to do an exam. So now let us make it an exam for today at the end of the year. Question: what we should do if somebody he don't pay zakat? Answer: we kill him and we grill him and we make him shish kebab and we eat him. Yummy, yummy. It is halal. Okay, question. What is the solution if somebody he is not doing prayer? We kill him, we grill him, and we eat him, and we make him shish kebab. Yummy, yummy. Allahu Akbar. Okay, what is the solution if somebody he don't follow the teaching of Islam, but he's a Muslim by name? We kill him, we barbecue him, and we eat him. Yummy, yummy. That is Islam. And then someone like James White, he says to you, ISIS does not present Islam. Until now, I did not see anyone of ISIS is eating somebody, which means ISIS are very nice compared to the teaching, the true teaching of Islam. And trust me, they are very nice.
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast. I'll tell them, well, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will.
قتله ثم شيء ثم أكله دون الرجوع للحاكم يعني ده يعني أرضية خصبة لإنشاء جماعات.
What is James White? If somebody he don't pray no more, you are allowed as a Muslim to kill him, to make him a barbecue, to grill him, and to eat him.
I will eat your ass first.
When you're going to debate Christian Prince, why would I debate that joker?